Hi, this is Mrs. Nagayama, your biology teacher, and this recording is to help you with quiz 2.21. Please review sections 2.20 and 2.21 before taking this quiz. So just as we talked about for all the other macromolecules, we're going to talk about the monomer for nucleic acids. So nucleic acids is a type of macromolecule that specifically has the function of holding our genetic information. Its monomer is called nucleotides. So on the right-hand side, with the around the black box, we see what a nucleotide is. It's made up of a phosphate, a sugar, and a base. So these nucleotides, when you string them all together, they're going to make the polymer, which is a nucleic acid. So we see two different types of nucleic acids below. On the left-hand side, we see that we have nucleotides that are strung on top of each other. We see only one strand of nucleotides. This is commonly referred to as RNA. There's another type of nucleic acid called DNA, and DNA is often found in the form of two strands. So we see we have a strand on the left and a strand on the right, and they are joined together by hydrogen bonds in the middle. To go a little bit more into just different types of nucleic acids and the differences between them, let's look at this table. The overall function for nucleotides is that they carry information for building and maintaining structures. They carry the genetic information for our cells. So we're going to compare DNA and RNA in the table below. DNA is on the left-hand side. So if we look at DNA, we see that its function or job is to be a permanent genetic material for the cell. That means that it's never going away as long as the cell lives. It has two strands and forms a double helix. The location of DNA is that it stays in the cell's nucleus. The reason why it stays in the cell's nucleus is because that's where it can be protected. Its lifespan is that it's going to remain in the cell as long as the cell lives. If the DNA ever gets damaged, then the cell would also die along with it. So that's how important DNA is. RNA on the right-hand side of the table is similar in that it does carry genetic information, but is a little different in terms of what its job is. RNA is genetic information that is used to make proteins. So we see that it doesn't have two strands, it's not in a double helix, but is only found in one strand. We can find it in the nucleus because that's where it's made, because we use DNA to make RNA, but eventually it leaves the nucleus because it's going to be used in the cytoplasm, which is right outside the nucleus, to make proteins. The lifespan of RNA is shorter than DNA because it gets degraded after the protein is made. Once the RNA is done with its function, which is making proteins, it no longer needs to exist. So here's a sample question for quiz 2.21. Which description is true for the DNA and RNA molecules? A, they are double-stranded. B, they are shaped like a double helix. C, they contain thymine and cytosine. Or D, they are types of nucleic acids. Remember, we're trying to look for a similarity between DNA and RNA. We know that RNA is single-stranded, so we can eliminate A. B says they are shaped like a double helix. Well, you have to have two strands to have a double helix, so we know RNA doesn't have that, so we can eliminate B as well. C, we didn't actually talk about, but I can tell you that that one's incorrect as well, because RNA has slightly different bases than DNA. So D must be the best, which is they are types of nucleic acids. Remember, DNA and RNA are both types of nucleic acids. Here's another question from quiz 2.21. Which sentence best describes the role of RNA? Is it used to make DNA, converts carbohydrates into energy, is involved in making proteins, or does it bond with lipids? Remember, we want to know the role of RNA. So more than one of these are true, but what is the function of RNA? So let's go ahead and look at the table that we were looking at before. What is the function of RNA? So the function of RNA, as we see on the right-hand side in red, is that it is involved in making proteins. So the best answer for this question would be C. It is involved in making proteins.